Hi, in this short video I'd like to talk about something really beautiful, and this topic that I'm going to talk about is the elementals of nature. Okay, so we well know that in creation, at least at the level of the planet Earth, there are four great kingdoms: the animal kingdom, the human kingdom, the plant kingdom, and the mineral kingdom. However, in creation, really what we have are elementals. And elementals occupy all of these four kingdoms. However, as we well know and we can imagine, each kingdom is at a higher level of development relative to the other, where we have the human kingdom being the most evolved, the most developed, and the mineral being the least evolved, the least developed. However, in each kingdom there are elementals. And what I mean by elemental, just as the word suggests, elemental meaning like the very basic, the very simple, the beginning. So we as evolved or worked or developed sentient beings are basically like diamonds in the rough. We are basically elementary forces. Basically we are the very beginning. And so esotericism says that those elementals, even within the human body, have to evolve or depart from the state of being a human elemental into being a real human being. And a real human being is one that has powers over nature, the one who has come to command and master him or herself, the one that commands the elements and forces and principles within oneself, and also which are outside of oneself in creation, because we are really a universe or a cosmos in miniature. Okay, anyhow, going back to this topic of elementals. An elemental is basically something divine. It is an essence, and it is also consciousness. So those elementals, which are really what creation is for. Creation is for those elementals to enter into creation, to pay their debts, and for them to evolve, for them to develop, for them to become aware of all the mysteries, laws, principles of creation, and to go back to their original point of departure, fully conscious, fully aware of themselves, the mystery of themselves, the enigma of themselves, and all the mysteries, laws, principles of creation, to take that back into the absolute, which is the origin of all creation, with consciousness, with wisdom. So obviously that wisdom is almost infinite. There's so many levels and facets to it. And obviously, one acquires a certain amount of wisdom being a mineral, certain amount of wisdom being a plant, certain amount of wisdom being an animal, and of course more wisdom being a human being. So anyhow, while there are human beings, there are these elementals in the other three kingdoms. And so very classically, we have the elementals of the water, basically the elementals of the four elements, elementals of the water, the fire, the air and the earth. So we know that the elementals of the earth are the gnomes, the elementals of the water are called undines or nereids, the elementals of the fire are salamanders, and the elementals of the air are sylphs. So they are the little essences or sparks of life, sparks of divinity that give life to those elements. So those elements are not dead, lifeless things, but they are things that are basically a matter, physical matter. They're also consciousness and energy. Okay, so the elementals animate, and they're like the intelligence of the elements. So we have within us those elements, and also it is part of the esoteric path to develop the strength of those elements, because each element has its certain characteristics, has its certain strengths. So we have to develop those strengths, and in developing them we have overcome the negative sides of those strengths. So I just wanted to end this video by saying that if we really want to, we can come to get quite close to the elementals of nature. It takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, but with persistence, as with everything, we can start to glean, start to get insights about their world, about their nature, about the particular wisdom that each of these elementals of nature hold or possess. So we can slowly tap into their wisdom, their knowledge, connect with them, get to know them, become acquainted with them, and bit by bit, in a very gradual way. Maybe it's a relationship that we form. The more we devote sincere interest to them and come to them with goodwill, the more they trust us, and the more they invite us into their world and give us a little bit of their wisdom. So I've chosen this elemental of water. So very often I go to a river, a beach, a great body of water, and then just contemplate on water. Also meditate a little bit on water, perhaps pray to the gods of water, to the elementals of water, to introduce me into their wisdom, to tell me, instruct me about water, to make my consciousness start to open up, to become aware of the strengths, the mysteries, the powers of water. And in the first couple of weeks, nothing, but after a while I started to open up a bit of insight into what water is. And all of a sudden, in a very physical way, I started to see dolphins, fish in the river that I never ever saw before, fish jumping out of the water. So I started to feel bit by bit that I'm getting introduced into that domain. But more, what's very interesting is that I started to feel very calm, very peaceful by the ocean or by a river. I remember so many times going to the river with negative emotions and then within a few minutes being cured. Like a complete change of emotional state. So I've attributed that to being helped by those elementals. And if I ever want to do some sort of concentration or go inside myself, I felt I've been helped to do that, to see my emotions, my thoughts a lot more clearly. I've received help in the contrast, in the confrontation of my thoughts and emotions. Even I felt like a certain impartment of energy from them. So I think really in a way that those elementals of nature can help us, and that's what I've been experiencing with the element of water. So, or the elementals of water, I should say. So it's very difficult to quantify it, to give evidence, to give proof of it, but it's sort of like seems to be a personal thing. Like an individual personal relationship you form with those elementals of the river or of the ocean. Anyhow, but one perceives that there is life there, that there is elemental life, that there's an intelligence, there is some mysteries, there is something that we don't know about yet, some force in there that can help us, that is present there, that is quite powerful. Okay, anyway, I just wanted my intention with this video is just to give an introduction to the elementals of nature, and I hope that I can gain some more insight with my practices to talk more about them in subsequent videos. Okay, as always, thank you very much for watching, and hold on for other videos. Thanks very much. See ya. Bye.